Hello, everyone, and welcome to the fourth episode of the CampaignHer Podcast. I am your host, and the sawdust mixture cast members pour on your turkey leg vomit at the Magic Kingdom, Ally Pippin. You guys, we've got quite an episode today. We're talking about over-preparedness, and I'm sharing a story I've literally only told one other person, so I can't wait for the rest of the world to know it. It's about my very first day at my current job. So get ready for that, any current coworkers that may be listening to this pod. And then super later, we have my former work wife at my last job, Amber, here talking about all the things that we can and can't prepare for in life and in interviews and getting ready for new jobs, as well as some of our own crazy interviewee stories. But before all that, let me just tell you about something my kids started doing that absolutely makes me mad as hell. So my oldest daughter, Maisie, I didn't just forget her name. I just didn't remember if you knew her name. My oldest daughter, Maisie, is like a classic firstborn. Okay, she's our rule follower. She's our rule enforcer. She, tortures her sister and blames it on her. She's like organized one, organized crime one. She is like definitely inherited, unfortunately, though, some of her mother's anxiety issues, and that manifests into her attempting to be over-prepared for any situation. The latest being her new favorite game she plays whenever it storms, called Weather Alert. We just got like a brand new weather radio from my parents, and it makes a really loud alert sound when there's a tornado, a tropical storm, hurricane, flood, heavy rain, severe thunderstorm, whatever kind of natural disaster weather alert, warning situation. And when that alarm goes off, Maisie, wherever she is, she'll scream, "Weather alert!" She'll grab everything she owns and she'll run and take it all into like a bathroom or a closet. Sometimes, not her own bathroom or closet. It's always my closet or my bathroom. And then she'll like make a little fort, a little fort bed in the bathtub and just wait it out. And when I say everything she owns, like I'm not exaggerating. She brought in 3 pairs of panties in there the other day and 2 pairs of pajamas. Like she was planning for like a 3-night stay in the bathtub. And now I'm sure some of you are hearing this and you're thinking, "Oh, Allie, like you're being so mean. She's just being prepared. She's thinking ahead. Look at her. She's so cute." But here's the thing. If you don't live in any state, you don't live in the state of Florida, we get a weather alert, sometimes multiple weather alerts a day. Okay, it storms every single day in the summer here. Like hurricane force winds kinds of storms, like always around like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Like you can set your clock by it. When I worked parade audience control at Magic Kingdom, we called it the 3 o'clock rain delay because a storm always delayed the parade. And for our children, my children, who have spent essentially their entire lives in Florida, these storms aren't new. The only thing that's new is the radio telling us that there's a storm. And a weather alert is fine. It's fine when we're at home. As annoying as it is to like watch Maisie move her entire bedroom into my walk-in shower and then me yell at her for hours to remove it because when I get into the shower the next morning, there's stuffed animals and a child sleeping in there. But when our family was just on vacation, so backdrop, we took the kids to Disney World for a couple days. We spent the day at the pool and, like Justin and I are just like looking at our clocks. It's getting close to 3 o'clock. We're watching these dark clouds start rolling in. And so we just calmly tell the girls that they have like one more go down the water slide. Not even raining yet, like classic Florida weather where it looks like, the apocalyptic abyss on your right and in the left, just sunshine, blue skies, sunshine, all whatever. So we tell the girls like, okay, you have one more go down the water slide. And then we got to walk back to the room so that we can beat the storm. I didn't want to get, I wanted pool water on me. I didn't want sky water. So the girls come down the slide and I'm like waiting right there with towels and their sandals and their cover-ups. And Justin, my husband, is packing everything that we had on our beach chairs into the like pool bag, like we're doing our thing. And right as Maisie comes out of the pool, like that was where the clouds finally reached the sun. So it gets a little dark, still no rain. And the lifeguards blow their whistles that tell us that there's like lightning in the area. And they like very politely and very calmly ask that we all exit the pool. Again, not raining yet. Dark clouds, but no thunder, like the tiniest little, like blustery little wind. Then the lightning was in the distance, like close enough where the weather radios picked it up, but not close enough where there's thunder, right? Like, Just the pool needed to be closed. So they're blowing the whistles, and Maisie is like halfway out of the water, and she loses it. She starts screaming weather alert. She like, I am handing her my towel, and she like grabs it and like throws it. Okay, she starts like hyperventilating. She yanks her cover up out of my hands and puts like both arms and her head through like the head hole of it. So now she's like soaking wet, and she's crying, and she's hyperventilating, and now she's stuck in this Target cover up, just near tears, yelling weather alert all over. People are looking at us. They're wondering what's wrong with her. I'm trying to get her unstuck, but the moisture from her body on the cover up has turned it into glue. It's turned it into glue. So I can't get it off her. And so then I tell her, I'm telling her to take deep breaths. I get her to calm down. I peel the wet, soaking wet, like cover up off her, get it back on her the right way, try to offer her a towel again. And then like the smallest little gust of wind just trickles its way through the pool deck. And a pool chair nearby, the back of it just like flops all the way forward. We're not talking, if you ask Maisie this, she's going to say, chairs were flying through the air like cows in Twister. Okay, but no, one little back of the chair just flop forward. And Maisie loses her damn mind again. Okay, she like yeets her sandal into a puddle. She starts running like a maniac towards the main building. Still no towel, still soaking wet. Like now her cover up soaking wet. Now minus one sandal, the other sandal like soaking wet. Okay, it was wild. And it took every fiber in my being as a parent and as a human not to grab her by the shoulders and yell, calm the fuck down, okay? She was like Michael Scott in that episode of The Office where Dwight starts the fire and he's yelling, all right, everybody stay calm, stay fucking calm, right? And so after all this nonsense, still no rain, little blustery wind, gray skies, we make it back to the main building. And she and I are waiting for Justin to come up with all the stuff from her pool chairs and with Parker, and she is shivering, soaking wet, her lips turning blue because she refused the towel. And she looks at me and she's like, why are we standing here? I'm freezing. I'm soaking wet. I'm freezing. I need a towel. I can't help but laugh now. But in that moment, like my head detached from my body and like floated up to the ceiling. And then it hit the ceiling and it came back down and it rolled out and away from there because I was feeling some kind of rage, okay? I love our anxious baby. She's so sweet. She's so smart. She's so prepared. She worries all the time. Anyway, we've got a great show for you today, so stick around. We will be right back. When I got this idea for this podcast, the first thing I had to accept was that I had zero idea what I was doing. And I wanted nothing more than to have someone just take this stuff that I'm thinking right out of my head and put it in your ears for you to listen to. And that's why I am so happy the Google Fairies led me to Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is really the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. 1, it's free. Number 2, it's free. Number 3, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. I have it on my iPad. Anchor then will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many, many more. And you get to make money from your podcast with absolutely no minimum listenership. It's really everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So, hey, if you're like me, you're ready to get into this sweet pod game, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Today's hard topic that we're talking about is over-preparedness, which is a totally real thing. You can be over-prepared in a multitude of ways. I personally pride myself on being over-prepared and being beyond prepared whenever I enter any sort of uncharted territory. I like to have just the best and worst possible scenarios and my reactions to them just completely mapped out in my mind. Over-preparedness is one of the reasons why I carry baby wipes with me in my purse at all times. It's why I always have a Tide pen. It's one of the reasons why I will drive to an interview an hour early so that I never have to worry about if I'm going to not understand the parking situation, okay? It's also the reason I should say that I know being over-prepared for everything will eventually lead to your undoing. Case in point, the time I literally was caught with my pants down at work. Now that I've got you hooked, let's take a step back. So last year, I was eager for a new job. I wasn't totally happy at my current job, and I just felt like I was ready for a new, higher paying, better title kind of position. So a friend of mine reached out about a position on her team at this different company that I would be perfect for. And after Chatting with her about it at length, I knew that I wanted the position, and that confidence of knowing that I wanted the position allowed me to like just sail through the interview process and land an offer and put in my 2 weeks notice with my current job, all like within a single 48-hour period. In my first day of work, I wanted to dress to impress. Like, who doesn't, right? Starting a job, I might add, on that awkward week, like right before my period, where nothing fits, and I just wanted to cry about it. So knowing that I wanted to dress to impress, knowing that I was, my body was rejecting me, I heaved myself into one of those pairs of like full body Spanx. Ladies, I know you get me, but on the off chance Amanda's listening to this, hi Dad, full body Spanx look like the kind of like leotards Richard Simmons would rock while sweating to the 80s, okay? They're like overalls and like shorts combined, okay? It's like an old-timey bathing suit, okay? And to get into them, you need to use like a patented 10-step process, and everyone's is different, but here's mine, okay? Here's my patented 10-step process to get into full body Spanx. Number 1, insert your right foot into the foot hole. Number 2, pull the Spanx up with like the force mothers use to pull cars off their children, okay? Step 3, sit down. Take a rest. Heave, okay? Almost vomit, because you will have used every muscle possible to just get it up on your leg. Okay, number 4, repeat steps 1 through 3 with your left foot and rip out about half your pubic hair as the half open closure just swallows your bits whole like Moby Dick. Step 5, at this point, your midsection should look like somebody squeezed a full tube of toothpaste just like right at the middle. Like no regard for etiquette. Just grabbed it right in the middle and squeezed it, okay? And then start to search for the straps, to begin to compress your top half. Step 6, notice those straps are somehow stuck inside the leg part. Step 7, remove the Spanx by laying on the floor and scooting them off like a slug. For an alternate, more painful method, pretend you're a dog that has butt worms and just scoot them off. Step 8, repeat steps 1 through 5, but now with significantly greater difficulty as your body will now be covered with like a thick layer of just sweaty moisture and you'll be crying. Step 5, lift the straps up over your shoulders like Meredith in the 1998 remake of The Parent Trap starring Lindsay Lohan when she puts on her Prada backpack full of rocks, okay? You should be using maximum elbow. Like you should be like squatting to like get your back down into it as you heave those straps over. Okay, and last but not least, step 10, attempt to sit down. Like you need that rest. Sit down. But you won't be able to sit down because of the Spanx, so you'll just sort of like lean with it, rock with it against your bed or your dresser or door frame or your spouse, and then just begin counting down to when you get to take them off. Spanx are absolute hell. Absolute hell. But damn it if they don't make a body look good, okay? Especially during that aforementioned awkward week right before you start menstruating. And if it wasn't abundantly clear in my 10-step process for putting on full body Spanx, full body like shapewear usually has an open crotch situation. Basically, Spanx anticipated how long it would take the average woman to put them on and off, and therefore designed these suckers to either have like a few little hooks, like the clasp of a bra, to cover your intimate areas, or 2 pieces of fabric that are meant to overlap like the front of a pair of men's underwear, okay? So, like, no woman would ever have to repeat the process every time duty calls. My full body Spanx have the latter design, the double flap, okay? And while the design is meant to provide complete coverage for her beauty, okay, in actuality, there are always a couple of labia just peekabooing out of those flaps at any given time, okay? And when I dressed that morning for my first day at my new job, my over-preparedness kicked in. What if, I thought, what if there was a gust of wind? Right as I'm walking up to the office, just a gust of wind, and it blows my skirt up, and everyone saw my cooter. I thought of only one solution, okay? I would wear a pair of underwear over my full body Spanx. Then, if any gusts of wind come around and any looky-loos caught a glimpse of what's under my skirt as the wind blew through it, they would only see me as the weirdo with underwear on over my shapewear and not as a woman with an actual vagina. Plan was foolproof, I have to admit. Foolproof. And I walked into the office that morning as confident as any woman could be. Okay, I met up with my friend who helped me get the job, and she immediately asked me to join her on a photo shoot. And guys, I'm not kidding. I'm good at my job, okay? I am in my truest form when I'm at a photo shoot. I like to get down on the ground. I like to shoot from a variety of different angles. And knowing I was in a skirt, I did my usual, get the shot regardless of the angle as best I could, but my attire was ultimately limiting. And finally, after putting off, getting down on the ground as long as I possibly could to get this picture, I knelt down onto one knee. And I remember when I was kneeling down that it was hard to do. Okay, I had a resistance band around my thighs or really tight pants, okay? But I just easily passed it off as I'm just nervous. I got quaky knees. It's just nerves on my first day. But then I tried to stand up. And that's when I realized that my underwear was literally around my knees. Just hanging on a prayer, living on a prayer, okay? You see, folks, what I think happened was this. The bonus pair of undies that I had popped on over my Spanx, they were of the silky smooth variety, which was the same material of the Spanx that they laid upon. And every single move I made that day caused those undies to just shimmy their way down my body, which I couldn't feel because my Spanx went from my titties to my thighs, okay? And while I never had a problem with my underwear staying up when they were, say, against my naked buns, the Spanx and them had repelled each other like the same side of a magnet, okay? And quite loudly, ever aware of the slightest movement of my body sending my panties to the floor, I shouted that I needed to use the restroom and did the most awkward little shimmy shuffle to the ladies' room. And I get in the door closes behind me, and my panties just drop. Okay, it was every rap star's dream. Panties be dropping in a corporate environment. And as quickly as I could, I just pulled them off from around my heels. I'm standing by the sinks, mind you. I'm not even in a stall. Okay, I am a foot into the doorway of the bathroom. And I just shimmy these panties off. Okay, I remove them around my heels, and I shove them in my pocket. I know what you're thinking. I know you're Ally, why didn't you just throw them away? Because I was in survival mode, okay, and I was not thinking clearly. I was not thinking clearly. Okay, my over-preparedness, it did not prepare me for literally holding my underwear in a corporate environment, okay? It did not. And I remember anxiously reasoning with myself that soon I would be back in my private cubicle, okay, and then I could just put my panties in my briefcase. I remember also having that mom logic of ugh, I don't want to spend $25 on new panties. Ugh, I don't want to drag my kids to Target and get another pair. I have other pairs of panties. Let's be real here, but I didn't want to lose one. And so sweating profusely and with my fists clenched around my underwear in my pocket, I open the bathroom door and immediately bump into my friend. And she's like, there you are. I want to introduce you to some people. And I nodded like a fucking maniac. And she led me around the building, introducing me to a plethora of new colleagues and partners, all the while being hyper aware of my underwear in my hand. And each time someone would reach for a handshake, I would have to let go of my shame and my dignity and my panties in my pocket, slip my hand out like Houdini escaping one of his tricks, and coolly be like, hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm really excited to be a part of the team. Thank you for this opportunity. Really great to be here. Before returning my hand to my pocket, we would once again close around my undies. And about halfway through the day, I just blacked out. I blacked out. From embarrassment, from sweat, from lack of oxygen due to the Spanx. I don't know, but I cried the entire car ride home. So ladies, maybe gentlemen, I don't know. Spanx are for everybody, guys, okay? Let my Spanx and my panties be a lesson to you all, okay? No matter how much you prepare for whatever life may throw at you, you will never be 100% prepared. I did not wake up on the first day of a new job and say to myself, today, I'm going to carry my panties around in my pocket, okay? In my worst case scenarios, that one didn't even make the top 10, okay? And in these instances where maybe you're caught with your pants down, the best thing you can do is just think fast and act faster and fake it till you goddamn make it, okay? Your actions, while potentially mortifying at the end of the day, will help you learn a lesson the next time. Like not to wear fucking underwear over your Spanx and just wear pants, damn it! Remember that the moments where you're caught off guard are traumatizing in the moment, but they make great stories in the end. And for anyone who is my current, peer partner, met me on the first day of work at my current job, I have no diseases. This was pre-COVID. Get your hands washed, okay? We'll be right back. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to the CampaignHer Podcast. Today on the show, I have my super amazing, awesome, gorgeous friend, Amber. Amber and I met while we were working in the food and beverage industry in Orlando. She is my work wife, even though we haven't worked together in over a year. She's still my work wife. And we worked hand in hand a lot and supporting some hiring initiatives through social. Amber, you gorgeous unicorn rainbow fish of a woman. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh my gosh. Tell us about yourself.
So when you asked me to join your podcast, that was the most stressful question. Because, it's the opener, so tell me about yourself. And it's I like comedy, bourbon. No, I thought about it. And it's I'm so fucking boring.
You are not boring.
The most. But I did you a solid. And I looked up, because I've been super into astrology.
Yes.
I'm a Cancer with the Taurus moon. Let me tell you about myself, via my horoscope.
I love you so much.
Are you ready? I'm going to tell you what it says, and then I'm going to tell you what it really means. You ready? Cancer sun, sweet and sensitive and emotionally in tune, right? Tenacious, strategic, great sense of humor, reserved but ambitious, nurturing and moody. That is all true. Here's the bullshit, though, because that describes me, but not quite. This is how a Cancer apologizes. Well, when you didn't read my mind and know exactly how I felt about something without me ever having to tell you, it hurt my feelings. So if you could work on that in the future, I suppose.
Amber, tell me right now you're reading off of that meme that's from fucking Arthur. Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, I saw them when I was at work, doing work things on Facebook, just looking on Facebook at work. The way that a business professional woman does, right? And I saw them come up, and the Aries one is I'm sorry that you chose to make me mad. And I was this girl right here, oh, I'm so sorry that you decided to fucking catch these hands. I'm so sorry.
Have you seen the Spice Girl edition?
No.
One moment, please. Cancer edition. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my need for constant attention, cuddles, and love. Need to save you, pets, friends, and family. Need to feel like I'm the only girl in the world. I need to isolate myself when sad or hungry. That's me in a nutshell.
The hunger one, man. That's me. That's how I know. This is why I know that we're friends. Is because I'll tell somebody I'm hungry, and then you got 4 minutes before I become a different person. You got 4 minutes before I grow.
Bay is hangry.
You better get me. You better get me something more than granola too. I don't want your fruit snacks.
Listen,
Okay.
I need some hard salami or some shit like that.
I need some charcuterie. Give me some charcuterie. Seriously though, it's my dream. I'm not gonna lie, it's my dream to become such a level of an influencer that I'm supported by big sandwich company meat. Okay, I want Boar's Head.
Oh, girl,
right?
Yes.
I want Boar's Head fucking knocking at my door, and it's you need this. You need this oven roasted turkey. Yes. That's all I want. That's the dream. That's the dream.
We love each other. This is the way we're work wives. This is it.
So, Amber, I like to start all of my interviews, and granted, we just went over astrology and lunch meat and our session in already, so we maybe don't need this. But I always like to start with, like, a icebreaker question. So, like, what was the absolute worst haircut you've ever gotten in your life?
My mother. Why do all things link back to your mother? What is this? I was 10 years old, and, like, at that cusp where, like, your teeth are a little funky and you know it. People are starting to judge you, and you kind of want to be cool, but you kind of also want to be 10.
Mm-hmm.
Had this beautiful, long, black, gorgeous Asian hair. I'm Asian. And my mom was like, it's hot. I'm going to cut your hair. I think we just couldn't afford shampoo. I'm not going to lie. So she goes to cut my hair, and, you know, like, she pulls it up like the half bun and does the thing. And I hear... and, like, you know, that sound, and I reach up, and literally it is above my ear, like a huge hump. My mom doesn't know fucking how to cut hair. We're poor. She's trying to figure it out and save on shampoo. I start bawling hysterically. I'm
Naturally.
Like, Dad! And, like, running through the house, and was like, help the hair!
You know what I'm picturing right now? I'm picturing, like, in the movie Tangled, when she, like, chops her hair off and she's got that one really short, like, brown hair.
That was me. My mom gives no fucks. She's like, Dell, leave her alone. Sit your ass down. And I'm crying hysterically. What ended up, like, I should send you a picture. I looked like an Amish boy. I was like an Asian Amish boy. I was like this. And I was like this. And I had to walk around the world with an Amish boy haircut.
Like Rumspringa.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm ever over that. I should probably bring it up with my therapist.
Yeah, you know what? Just as a good one. Like, hey, I have an aversion to Amish men. Like, I just see one and I
don't dig them at all. I can't get behind an Amish man. It's that haircut. It's ruined me.
Oh, yeah, my worst one, I did to myself. Yeah, so, like, when I was a kid, I was, you know, just the rarest breed. And I wanted to be an astronaut when I grew up. And so...
Aww, I could so see you being...
Couldn't you?
Astronaut.
Wouldn't I just look adorable in one of those little spacewalk suits? Come on. So I asked my parents for a chemistry set, and I had, like, a kitchen chemistry set, and I was, like, playing with the chemistry set, and I had this one, like, hair that kept, like, coming in my face. You know, just, like, kept... As I'm leaning down, it just kept coming out. So I, like, pinned it back. I put my hair up in a bun. I did all of it. And this one hair, and then finally I was like, you know what? Getting in the way of science. And I cut it off, but I didn't cut it here. No. I didn't cut it at eye level. I went to the root of the source and I chopped it off. Now, mind you, like, I'm showing you right now what I'm doing, and I have this tiny little wisp of hair. It was like, it was thick. It was, oh my God. Yes, but when it grew in, I was fucking alfalfa. I just had my little, like, my little Teletubby top, you know, that was like, it was terrible. It was fucking terrible.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then the worst part, Amber, oh my God, the worst part was, like, we went on vacation, like, right after that. Like, not right after, because it would have been against my scalp, right? But, like, long enough that it was starting to grow back in. And we took our fucking Christmas card picture on that vacation. So, like...
Your mother hates you as much as my mother hates me.
She was like, this bitch.
Lovely shit. Thanks, Ma.
Like, didn't even put a headband on it, you know, didn't even, like...
Gel that shit down, push it to the side.
Nothing.
No fucks
Nothing.
given. Moms are savage.
They're savage. So earlier in this episode, I shared this wonderful story about my very first day at a new job, and I've told you this one, where I wore underwear over a pair of full body Spanx, and they fell down.
I want to hear it again, though, just for chicken.
Well, you know what? The people here have already heard it at this point because they listened to this segment beforehand. But the Cliff Notes version, I didn't want my cooter hanging out of my full body Spanx. Okay, so I put on underwear over, you know, because I was worried. What if a breeze showed off my labia? Or, like, let's be real, what if, like, I'm sweating so much back there and there's a little stank about it and it's just out there in the open? What if, right? It's terrible. And so I, like, wore a pair of underwear over my Spanx.
Literally.
Yeah. What if my period started? What the fuck? Just bleed it out?
Right down your leg.
Just
like a doggy.
Like a doggy. So anyway, my underwear fell down and I walked around with them in my pocket for an entire day. And it's a miracle that I still have a job. Okay, but I'm sure after today I will no longer have a job. Yep, taking my hand out. Drop.
Here's my panty fingers.
It wasn't like I was in there like, you know, like I wasn't like rubbing them on my hands like, these are good. No. So anyway, I would love it if you could share with me a story when you've been like over prepared to a fault.
So I've been racking my brain about this one because I don't know how you top the panty story. You really don't. So I guess this is going to be less funny, more business. But I would say the biggest lesson I ever learned, we did a couple of acquisitions over the last year and a half, right? So we would go into different restaurants that we had bought and moved into the corporate fold. The first one, so many learnings, right? Like you don't know what to expect. You do all this pre-work, you get set up, and then you learn like a million things. No problem. Like fully expected that. Second one, owned it like a boss, right? Like we get in there, oh yeah, we know our shit. I know how to roll this out. Super proud. Like you understand the complexity of going into someone else's space and they're already on this brand, but they're not on this brand and kind of walking around that and owning it, right? So like the first two acquisitions, made friends with the teams that were there, still have great working relationships. They were all very hesitant the first day or two, broke down barriers, blah, 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 right? So like by number 3, I think I got this shit and no problem. So anyways, so we go and we think we know everything, right? Like we've done this before. We know the setup. We know the drill. We did the pre-work. We get there and this team of people were just a fucking shit show. So I think what it taught me is like that human element. Like you're prepared. You know that they're not exactly excited. They're hesitant, but we've never been able to not break down those barriers. And this was the first time I'd ever run into anything. And I learned so much. I mean, we hit wall after wall with technology, with bringing the leaders in the restaurant along with us, with getting their teams aligned. I mean, it was just... like if it could have gone wrong, it went wrong. And it was one of the hardest trips. I don't think I've ever like let something sit like that inside me and like not stop thinking about it and like what could I have done and what did I miss and what could I own and what didn't we catch, right? Like, and to be honest, it was 50-50. 50% us thinking, well, we got this shit because we've been here before and fully expecting things to go exactly the way they had gone in the past based on us setting ourselves up for success. Then hitting a place where these people were not in the right mental state for this, and there were other things going on, and then just very strong personalities, right?
Yeah.
And I have a very strong personality. Like I had someone, like one of the leaders, and like throw an iPad on the table in a hissy fit. Yeah. So some of it was them, but then some of it was us coming in and just not approaching it the right way. So I think that we were prepared with tools, systems, processes, checklists. This worked before, this worked before, this worked before. We're ready. Look how great we are. We're here. And we get there, and then that was not work. Like they were completely resistant. And because they were resistant, then we started like forgetting things and dropping the ball on things and weren't as consistent as we had been because they were just so cantankerous that nobody wanted to really talk to
anyone. I love that word.
So then we started excluding them unintentionally just to get the job done. So, I mean, we were prepared in the sense we thought we knew what we were going to get. We had done everything we could do to set ourselves up for success. We did not count for the human factor.
Yeah, like I think that's a great lesson because like I know when I go into any kind of new situation, I try to make sure that I have every worst possible scenario worked out in my mind. But I think when you're looking at like things in the bigger picture, especially in like a corporate environment, you're thinking like what happens if technology fails? What happens if we forget our training manuals here? Like what happens if we can't get computers to work? Not like what happens if everyone's a bitch, you know?
Like fuck you,
right?
And your little dog too. Right. And then you're over here like, but I'm sad. I wanted to be your friend.
You're like, but look at how nice I am. Yeah. Woof, man. That's tough.
It was rough. And then so we're still trying to bring them along. And I'm more upset that we didn't give them what they needed and that we let them down. Even though it didn't make it easy, but we own that, right? So I think we were so prepared. We thought we had this and we didn't. And honestly, I learned more from that experience than I did from the first two.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, and like I know that you have worked a lot in like recruiting, and we work together a lot on some recruiting initiatives. And so I think the other place in our world when it comes to our like corporate and our career relationships where we're not prepared is in an interview, right?
I'll tell you about the worst interview I ever had. So we were interviewing someone to join the team that I was on. And apparently I guess I'm the toughest interviewer. So she comes in and it was off-putting like that. Oh my goodness. She had a snotty little British accent. You know, it's just like, all right. So then I started drilling into her. I'm like, let's play. You want to play? We'll play. I know how to play this game. So what's your favorite dish? She's like, oh, that one fish dish. I'm like, yeah, which one? What was
It's a seafood company.
How much did it cost? How was the service? Did you like the price point? How was the atmosphere? Blank. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was salmon. I'm like, which one? Grilled, blackened, topped with tilapia. Making shit up at this point. She's like, the one with the shrimp. I'm like, oh, salmon and shrimp. Yeah, that's a great dish. We don't have a salmon and shrimp dish.
You're terrible. Like the worst interview that I've ever sat in as an interviewee. Oh my God, Amber. Oh my God. Okay, so like I remember I was interviewing for this job. It was a social media manager role. And I like talked with this person, one of the like hiring people for weeks beforehand. And I was like, they were really helpful. Like they really wanted me to like learn more about the job. And, you know, and I would meet them for the first time as my last interviewer for this job. So I like get through the first rounds of interviews, meet with people that I would actually report to, would be on my team. And they were all like wonderful, really awesome people, like very down to earth. And then my last one, who I was excited to meet, was this person that had helped me through. And I'm like, she's asking me questions. I'm answering these questions, but I'm just like, who is this girl? And like, who is this? Nails out to here. Craziness. Okay.
Oh, I hate
and
this
like, honestly, like,
clause.
right. But hey, like, listen, okay, everyone's got their own style, right? Like, you want to have crazy nails? Awesome. I wear earrings most days that look like fucking popsicles. Okay. Like, that's who I am. But then what really threw me off was like halfway through the interview, she pulls out a fidget spinner.
From where?
From her, I don't know, her butt. I don't know. She pulls out a,
oh, please.
Pulls out a fidget spinner. So I'm talking about budget reconciliation. I'm talking about partner management, like all this fucking shit. And here she is just like spinning the fucking fidget spinner. And it was like somebody went online and they're like,
the fidget spinner craze.
No, it was not. Throw that shit away. This was 2018. Okay, this was
a millennial.
It was like somebody Googled like how to be millennial. Okay, Amber, I like to end all of my interviews. This is off the rails. But
did you get anything good? I mean,
I think I did. But I like to end my interviews with like rapid fire questions.
Oh shit.
Where I just ask you these questions and you have to answer them as quickly as you can. Knowing us, we're going to get through like 2 of these and then we're going to go on a tangent. And like 3 hours later, we're going to get back to the third one just because I know us and I'm expecting it. But yeah. Rapid fire. Okay, you ready?
Got it.
You ready? And away we go. Have you ever pooped in an inconvenient place?
Yes, I shit off the side of a semi. I had to go so bad it was like a blowhole, and it flew out of my ass 20 feet onto the snow. Oh, a second time I was canoeing on a date, and I ate chicken wings. And my stomach hurt so bad, I have slight IBS, that I had to hang over the side of the canoe. And I was crying over the river with the gators and shit, but then I didn't have anything to wipe it on, so you had to give me this shirt.
Next. Oh my God.
Next question.
Would you rather be the funniest or the smartest person in the room?
Who cares if you're smart? We can't make people laugh.
You just told us your diarrhea came out of your butt like a blowhole. Amber, oh my God, Amber, what was your first AIM or AOL screen name?
Oh my God, Burpuka.
Burpuka?
You can email me if you think I'm funny and hot. Birdhookah at AOL.com, bitches.
Amber, what's the best kind of butter?
Oh my God, that shitty fake Crocker butter. It's in the brown tub.
That's not butter! That's plastic.
That's the best.
That's margarine. Amber, what's something you've always wanted to dip in chocolate?
I don't like chocolate. Ooh. Something I'd always wanted to do. Pass. Next, swipe left.
Mine's fried chicken. Amber, which Spice Girl are you?
The one that has a need for constant attention, cuddles, and love.
What's your Harry Potter Patronus?
Okay, so that one I saw on your sheet, and I took the quiz, and I took a video of the quiz.
What am I looking at?
Oh, that's my...
A dolphin?
I'm a dolphin.
You're a fucking dolphin. What's your grossest habit?
My grossest habit? You know what? I can leave food out for fucking hours. I have some ribs that have been sitting on the counter since 11 a.m. I'm going to heat that shit up in the microwave and pray I don't die.
Amber, that's where you don't have IBS. You have food poisoning.
Listen, I grew up poor. You don't waste food.
The food will waste you, honey. You magnificent fucking angel. Amber, this has been so much fucking fun. Thank you.
I was able to share some things.
You did. You did.
And recruitment.
Hey, people who listen to this podcast.
My blowhole off the back of a semi.
No one's gonna do that.
Sheer white snow.
Not a damn person on earth is gonna remember. Forget that one.
Take this moment to say my real name is not Amber.
It's not. It's Luann.
To protect the innocent.
It's Luann. Change name. Yes, Luann Fitzherbert Simmons.
Wild.
With an E at the end.
Well, duh.
Because she's so sophisticated. Amber, Luann, I love you so fucking much.
Thank you so much, dude. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to talk to me, I'm available.
Oh my God, yes. Come back anytime. This was so funny. Anyone who listens to this podcast knows how much of a hot ass fucking mess I am. So this is so comforting to know that I'm not alone in the world with other hot ass fucking messes that I love. All right, girl. We'll be right back with more right after this. You guys, earlier in the episode, I said it was the 4th episode. It's the 5th episode. We're a whole hand. Wow, guys, what a fun episode today. Can't wait for HR to call me about how many hands I shook on my first day of work after somebody files a formal complaint. Huge thank you to Amber for being here and joining with us today. Friendly reminder that you can see pictures from this episode and from earlier episodes and all future episodes and just stay up to date on the latest and greatest Campaign Her nonsense by following us on Instagram at @TheCampaignHer. Don't forget that's the. You also, if you just want more updates, if you want to read more stories, you can visit our blog at CampaignHer.com. Our blog also has the link to our shop on Etsy. It has ways to get in contact with us if you want to send us an email. And don't forget, you can support the podcast with sticker purchases, also available on Etsy. And now, when you purchase 2 or more stickers, we'll give you one for free. Just use coupon code podcast at checkout. Please continue to review and subscribe. As we mentioned last week, it's my personal goal to make it onto the new and noteworthy segments of Apple Podcasts. And every rating, so 5 stars or higher, you can't get higher than 5 stars, but please give me 5 stars. And every review, just write that you liked it, put a bunch of thumbs up emojis in a review, something. All that matters. Every listen matters. I can't believe that we've already surpassed 200 listens on this podcast. You guys spoil me. But please help us reach our goal of reaching the new and noteworthy section of Apple Podcasts. Until then, guys, I love you. And you look great today. Oh my God. Look at how fancy you are. You're looking great. You're going to have a great day. You're going to go out. You're going to exercise. You're going to ask your boss for a raise and he's going to give it to you. Go live your dream. Happy Thursday. Guys, it's Friday tomorrow. Let's go out drinking. And until then, new episodes drop every Thursday. We'll see you next week. And don't forget, you're doing great, sweetie. Bye.